Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Abby. And I just have to click my thing here over here. Hang on a second. See if we get this right. See if we get this right. I realize that if you've been watching these videos, every time I start a video, there's a small technical delay. Mine. And I'm ever, every time, ever surprised, ever discombobulated. It just seems it's one of those 51st dates things. I wanted to, before I begin today, this conversation I want to have about where to start before you start. I I just wanted to tell you a really lovely little story that is some people will really, really resonate with it. Others will just think, well, there she is. So, and by the way, for those of you who are just joining and you're not sure what on earth this is about, my name is Abby Haggard, and the reason I'm doing these videos is that I'm getting back in the swing of things after having been kind of off the grid. In other words, out of the spotlight, not really doing anything of any earth-shaking change worthiness, just quietly working on books and strategies with clients. And since I've come back, since I've returned, sort of this time last year, I realized that I had an opportunity to do something pretty fabulous and pretty exciting and a lot of fun. So I thought the best way to do this is to start doing videos so that you can drop in and see me and listen to where I'm going and what I'm talking about. And by the way, give yourself a little break in the middle of the morning. So that's what this is about. And so I welcome you if you're brand new. I welcome you if you have been with me all the way through. And please, by the way, if you're on, I'm actually recording through a system that allows me to be on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube kind of sort of at a similar time. I'm actually posting to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you're watching me that way, comment, say hi. It's awesome when I see your comments. I just love that. So it's kind of creating a family, kind of a tribe. Which leads me to leads me to what happened yesterday. It was a very sad occasion. It was a celebration of somebody very wonderful, lovely, and so you go to these events knowing that we're going to participate in the turning of a page. One chapter has ended, and we are all together turning a page. And so there's stuff, in your head, and what I haven't done and what I should do, and all of those things that we go through, which is part of the work that I do now. The other thing is that we get to see people that we have not seen in a while. Sometimes it's because we're busy. It's sometimes we think, oh, I'll get to it the next time. And then for me, it was another layer, another incredible opportunity. So I'm a military kid, in case you didn't know. And what that creates is a kind of a gypsy world experience. What happens is you're not here or there or over there for long. You are constantly uprooted, moved, put down, reset, dig roots, and then it happens again. And as a result of that, the places you live and the community you belong to is a short-term thing. They were being and doing what they do. You came along, you joined them, you became part of them, and then you move on, and they continue to be and do. And each place you go, like a little stone skipping into different ponds, they continue to be, much like life. It's a life analogy, actually. They continue to be, and we plunk in, create ripples, and move on. And so this organization of people, this collaboration of like-minded souls, oddly, weirdly, impacted my life twice. Once when I was in high school, And the next time, after we had gone to 5 different places to live, when I came back and went to college, and then after college, and I started my career. And in the intervening college, begin the career, gradually segue into full-time professional, I met and worked with an extraordinary group of creative people in the Ottawa area. And I hadn't seen most of them for decades. I'm in touch with a few of them, but when you keep moving, you don't remember everybody, and they move on and you move on, and all of a sudden I found myself in this room full of people who were there for one very express purpose, and I was too. And I would be looking at someone and I would be thinking to myself, boy, you look familiar. And the person looking back at me was smiling, as we do. And all of a sudden you see that it go ding, and oh my God, Abby? And I'm saying, yes. And it was it was really quite incredible. And at one point, I went to get a glass of water and I turned and I was staring through the doorway at all the people. And I thought, I'm part of this. I'm the solo gypsy traveler. And my family was very small, and most of them are gone. And I suddenly realized I was looking at a family that I was part of. All of a sudden, I thought, oh, it's like the day I discovered that I wasn't the only hagyard on the planet. When a cousin called and said, hi, I'm doing the family tree. What? What? I'd never run into another hagyard. I'd been a lot of places, never ran into one. I assumed, therefore, probably I'm it. No, there's a bunch of us, and it's a complete transformation in our understanding of how it all works. Because we build our little tribes. We have a work tribe, and we have a neighbor's tribe, and we have a hobby tribe, and we have a vacation tribe, and we have a family tribe, and we have extended family tribe. We have all these tribes that we're part of. And unless you're somebody like me who keeps moving and leaving, you're constantly in touch with them. They're constantly overlapping. The ripples are constantly happening. But it doesn't really happen that much for me. And so it was an extraordinary time. I kept looking at this one lovely woman who we sort of grew up together, kind of. And I'm standing looking at her and she's looking at me. And I said, I think I'm going to come and stand next to you. And she said, that's a good idea. So we're both standing next to each other. And I said, are we seeing the room through the same kinds of eyes? And she said, almost, because we just had so many influences on us at such important pivotal times. And it's those influences that filter all of our thoughts and ideas and impulses and messages. And I thought, this is extraordinary. I don't want to lose it immediately. If I talk about it, it anchors itself. So that's why I wanted to start today by saying one of the things that is so important about celebrating a life, going to the event, and loss is involved, celebrating the lives, the tapestry, is really, really important. It's like our story. It is part of our story. The tapestry threads, the ones that touch us, that surround us, they tell us who we are. And sometimes we really need to be reminded of that, because we can feel set adrift. We can feel suddenly rudderless. We can be confused as though we've lost our bearings. What is that odd sound? The engine isn't supposed to make that sound, is it? We have those things happen to us, and knowing where we're from, knowing what our from looks like, bumping into it, hugging it, telling it we've missed it, we love it, is very important to our good balance, our re-energizing. It's amazing. I drove away from that event and I thought, wow, the word girl almost has no words. So, but it was today I thought I will find the words today. Anyway, that was the first thing off the top. And forgive me, except I'm not really looking for an apology. I just wanted to make that segue because we seem to be invited to so many of these events. From time to time, all of a sudden, there seems to be a wave of them. And it's important to go. It's important to go and see who we are reflected back to us. It's very special. It's really very, very special. Cheers. So, ironically, isn't it ironic? My theme today is where to start before you start. And so where to start today was looking back and sharing, because you were my family too. Our video things, that's a family. We're growing it. So where to start before you start was the slogan that I used for my little consulting business when I backed away from active show business, when there was no work, there were no shows in production. It was kind of a lull. Show business is definitely like that. And what I did was I joined an online writers agency, and I began writing for people as a ghost, as somebody, I didn't say, hi, I'm this, and I was doing that. No, I just wrote. And it taught me a great deal about the other way to communicate. You put it on a page, and then people can discover it on their own time, on their own terms. And it's important. It's important to be able to use more than one platform, more than one basket for the eggs, right? So while I was doing that, I decided I wanted to have a little consulting business, and I contacted somebody clever. And between the two of us, we came up with we would call my consulting now what strategies, because now what is what you say when you run out of ideas. What now is when the phone won't stop ringing. Now what is when you'd like it to ring and it won't. Now what? Is it working? Well, it's working. Darn, they're not calling. So now what is the pause we take when we realize that we were maybe headed in the wrong direction. Now that happens to me a lot, even with Google Maps and whatever all this other stuff is, because I will think I have the right bearing in my head, and I suddenly think I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Now what? Turn around. How do I get myself back on track? And in the now whatting process, I realize that there is a thing everybody does, no exceptions, that gets in our way. It is normal. It is almost inevitable. And fortunately, we have the ability, we have the capacity to correct it as soon as we realize we're doing it. And most people don't realize they're doing it. So the happily part is kind of wasted. Doesn't matter if you can fix something if you don't really know that it's broken, and you keep making the same mistake and using the same broken thing and saying it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It's broken. So when I came up with this concept for all of my clients, it ended up being for all of my clients, because everybody makes the same mistake. And I realized that almost without fail, Every great idea, every exciting campaign makes the same mistake. So I came up with where to start before you start. Now, in show business, just to give you the analogy, not like, oh gosh, what's she thinking? In show business, when you are going to do a television show or a film, or you're going to write a book, do a stage production, anything in the entertainment industry, they created, and I'm sure it exists in the civilian world. It's just that it's a given. It's inevitable that when you're going to do a production of some kind, creative production of some kind, that you end up doing this. It's when you're budgeting, when you're planning what you invest, time, money, effort, people, tools, whatever. When you're planning what you invest, that's called budgeting. You actually work with 3 budgets. And it's not that the one is the legal one you show to the revenue and the others are the ones you have on the side. It's not that. Not that I have ever done the second one. So the first budget is called pre-production. And this is all the work, all the effort, all the people, all the resources, all of the dinner you use in the run up to see if it's viable. It's the vision part. I created this breakdown for my clients, and it was vision, viability, value. Those are the 3 categories. Okay. So in the visioning, for example, on a film, you need to find a location. You need to find out if the actors you want are available and willing and affordable. You have to find out logistics. You have to come up with all of the bits and pieces it's going to take to actually make the thing happen. So in this vision section, the pre-production, this is where to start before you start. Production is the doing. It's the viability. We got to get from here to here. We're shooting scene 3 today. Value is when we're done, what we do with it. What you've got the book in your hand. Where's the book? I don't have a book. They're all over there. The book is in your hand. What do you want the book to do for you? Do you want to have a big launch? Do you want to tie it in with a sponsor? You want to take it on tour? Are you assigning merchandise with it? What do you want? What do you want the value? How do you want the value created? 3 budgets: pre-production, production, post-production. 1 is before you start. 2 is the doing after you're done. And I have never in the civilian world, with any client I've ever met, I've never seen anyone do that. I've never seen it. Now, I haven't met everybody, but I haven't seen small business people do that. I haven't seen people who've decided that they want to renovate their house do that. I haven't seen people who've decided that they want to build, or they want to move, or they want to go on vacation. I haven't seen them do that. I have not seen people realize that there are 3 stages in the creation and the conclusion of something. So where to start before you start is finding out if you can even do it at all. Now, in the great mad crazy rush, when we've had this brilliant idea, oh my God, I can do this. Oh boy. And we race off in chasing of it. We don't do that first thing. We don't do a pre-production. We don't do we don't do a what if. We simply leap in because we're so excited. I know, think, plan, but I want to do. Sure, me too. However, you're also doing in the pre-production stage. You're also doing in the planning stage. And the thing that I want to talk about the most today, because everyone is dealing with it, and it makes me crazy on my behalf and on yours. Here it is. Everyone tells you this is a shortcut. This is the shortcut. You can be this. You can make this much money. You don't have to make $50,000 every 15 minutes online. Okay, absolutely. And everybody's all excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All you have to do is this. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. And then you do it. And then all of a sudden you hit a wall. And you don't hit a wall because the thing you bought is bogus. That's not why you hit the wall. Although many of the things you buy are bogus. Because odds being what they are. That's not why we hit the wall. The reason we hit the wall is something called time. And I'm going to explain it to you because it's stupid, silly, smart how easy this is to fix. And it's equally stupid, silly, smart how we don't see it, how we ignore it, how we forget it, when it is every part of every single waking and sleeping minute of our lives, and it's not on our radar. It's not that it's not there. It's there. It's going, hey, woohoo, and we can't see it. Here it is. In a day, there are 24 hours, correct? Sure. I'm not the math girl. I'm not going to do anything complicated, believe me. Okay, so in a day, there are 24 hours. By the way, if you have a weapon of mass construction and a piece of paper or a spare napkin, you can write this down, okay? There's 24 hours in a day. You know what's interesting? We use them. We use all of them every day. We have never not used them. There has never been a time in the history of keeping time that people have said at 11:59 p.m., oh my God, I got 3 hours left. Nobody ever says that. I got all this. I didn't do anything. I mean, I have, it's left over. What can I do with the leftovers? Well, maybe I could make a casserole. Do we have any potato chips? Because we're never given leftover time. I'm not talking about time is fleeting, and I'm not talking about we're only here this one time. No. This is just pure, straight, logic. Okay. How come we don't have any time left over? Where are we here? Well, good morning, Freddie. Already started writing it down. Perfect timing for me, this topic. Good morning, Sylvia. Perhaps you and I need to talk, darling. Okay. So if we fill every minute already, every minute, every 60 seconds, we manage to do something, right? Okay. There's a list. There's a list of stuff we do. And Sylvia, you can tell me 80% of them. I made it live this morning, Mom. Well, good morning, Chris. Good morning. How wonderful to see you. Okay, so here's the list, okay? And I'm going to start with the easy stuff. Okay, so we sleep however long. And it's not about how much yet, okay? We sleep, right? We do stuff to transition into and out of sleep. Like we get up. We get up and we get cleaned up and we get dressed. And before sleep, we get cleaned up and we get undressed, right? So the window of time from, okay, now it's time to get cleaned up, undressed, get into bed, sleep, and then wake up, clean up, get dressed, however much time that is, we use that time every day. So let's say you sleep for, we'll do a traditional thing. Let's say you sleep for 8 hours. And let's say it takes an hour and a half. No, but let's be done. Let's say it takes an hour because we're Speedy Gonzalez. Let's say it takes an hour in the getting ready for and getting out from the bed thing. So let's say it's 8 hours of sleep plus another hour. So 9 hours. Okay, so you say 24, right? Minus 9. Okay, now you know how much else you have left, right? Okay, and then we do a thing, usually at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and that is we eat. So we do a couple of different things to eat. For in the middle of it, we eat, right? And then before that, we either prepare it or we go get it. And at the end of it, we either clean up or get rid of it. But so eating plus this plus this. And if we do it 3 times a day, so let's say it takes you half an hour to eat, and it takes you another 15 minutes to prepare it. So let's say half an hour, 15 minutes and 15 minutes. So an hour for food 3 times a day, right? Okay. So where are we here? We had 9 hours for sleep, and so that's an hour. So that's 3 hours for food, right? Okay. That's 12. We've already used up half our day, and we haven't done anything. Now, in between all the things we do, whatever the things are that we do, we prep for. We either have to get in the car to go to work, or we work from home. And if we work from home, well, that's great because we don't have to get in the car and go to work, but we do have to remove the cat from the computer, and we do have to, we have to get ready to work, right? So we get ready to work. Let's say, for the sake of just being easy, let's say it's 15 minutes to get ready, all right? 15 and another 15 to tidy up, right? So you get in the car to come home after work, or you put the cat back on the computer and you shut things down. All right. So, and let's say you work 5 hours a day. Okay, just for the sake of easy, right? Or 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours plus that half hour. So now it's 6 hours for work, right? 6 and 12. Now we're at 18. We're at 18 hours, and all we've done is sleep, eat, and work. And we've commuted to work and cleaned out. All right. That means we have 6 remaining hours. Well, there, Abby, what's the problem? Okay, so, but of the 6 hours, we have to do some maintenance. And maintenance falls into a couple of categories, okay? One is getting the stuff, and the other is using the stuff, which means we have to go and get food, we have to go and get cleaning supplies, we have to go and get fuel, we have to go and get equipment, right? And then we have to do it. We have to clean the house. We have to do the laundry, right? We have to put on or take off the storm windows. We have to change the tires on the car. Now, we don't change tires on cars every day, and we don't do the laundry every day. Maybe we do. And we may not clean the house every day, but I can guarantee you that every day we do one of them. And typically it takes an hour, maybe 90 minutes to do the maintenance. And let's be really generous and say it only takes half an hour to do the getting and the putting away and the doing. So 90 minutes, no, we'll keep it at an hour. So now we're at an hour for the doing and a half an hour for the getting and the putting away. So that's 90 minutes. Okay. So 90 minutes, we'll just say 1.5. Okay. And then the other thing we do is we socialize. We socialize with our family, we socialize with our coworkers, we socialize with our neighbors, we socialize with our friends and our relatives and our contacts that we're building new communications bridges with, and we're on social media, right? And we do that every day. You call your mother? Why haven't you called your mother? You never call your mother. Okay. You don't necessarily call your mother every day, but you do some socializing, maintaining the connections with our tribe every day. And I'm going to say we do it for another hour and a half when you put it all together. Some days more, some days less. I'm not even talking about Thanksgiving and Mother's Day and Father's Day. We can just loop all that in. So that's another hour and a half. Okay, that's a total of 3 hours. So we had 18 hours used up in the going and doing and the being, and another 3. That's 21 hours that we use every day to be. 21 hours used up, no room for anything else. Now, that leaves 3 hours. 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day. What do we do? Hobbies, fitness, trips, vacations, gifts. Put an hour every day. We do something that is a reward system. Okay? An hour every day. We are now at 22 hours. We have 2 hours a day that we can do anything we want with that is not already taken up, whether it's sleep, waking, eating, working. Exactly. Good morning, Matthew. How nice to see you. How nice to see you. So we now have 2 hours a day. We're filling those 2 hours with something. I don't know what we're filling it with. Something. So we can replace those 2 hours with the new thing. 2 hours a day. That's wow. Oh my God, 2 hours a day. Well, no, because on Sunday, of course, I do that, and then, well, okay, so I wouldn't have the 2 hours on Sunday, but certainly, yeah, that's 6 hours a day. So, oh, but wait, that's right, because on Friday evenings, I'm always doing that on Friday evenings, and I wouldn't want to give that up. Okay, so that's 5 days. Well, it's still 10 hours. Okay. 10 hours. So what we need to do before we leap lovingly, happily, joyfully at the new thing that is going to change our lives is take a look at the 10 hours we spend a week that we are prepared to say goodbye to. Because we need to replace those 10 hours with the investment in the new thing. In this pre-production budgeting of the time and resources and connections that we are prepared to invest in our new thing, in the pre-production, just to see if the vision actually works, we have to make some tough decisions. All the other stuff that is essential to us, okay, great. We have 2 hours a day that we can shift if we're willing, if we're ready. 2 hours a day. Now, well, if I just moved everything, I could invest a whole day. Well, no, you can't, because you have to sleep and you have to eat, you have to get up, you have to get dressed, and you have to get in the car, and you have to put gas. Like those other 20 hours, those other 20, let's say 20 minimum 20 hours, they're done for. They're already assigned. Yes, you can shift everything. Absolutely, you can. But those 2 hours are yours for the shifting. What do you do in them? Well, I don't know. How would I know? So I created something called the time scheduler. Timing is everything is the name on it. Timing is everything. And I created the time scheduler with a whole list down the side of stuff that people do typically, and the time. And what I say to my clients, and I'll have it available on the website when the website's ready. It's almost ready. It's almost ready. Um, the idea is this: keep track for 1 week, just 1 week. Keep track to figure out what did I do in those 2 hours. What is it that I do? How could I possibly not know what I do for those extra 2 hours? Well, if you're prepared to spend a week to decide that you can actually do this exciting thing, and I know it's a terrible, terrible burden to ask of you because you're excited and you want to do it now. And believe me, in the dictionary, under impatience, here I am, wondering how long it's going to take for the picture to be done so I can go and do stuff. So, however, if you do this for you, when you spell it out like that, no wonder I feel like yes, yes, right? And we do it every day and we don't see it because it has become all of it, almost all of it, it's become just automatic. So, for instance, 3 days ago, I discovered that I had 3 of these celebration events that I was invited to, that I wanted to go to, that it was important to me to go to. So the duration is usually a couple of hours. Getting prepped and going is another 45 minutes, either way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 hours basically pulled out of your day to go to these things. So that means I might have 2 free hours, but what did I have to move around? What did I have to put on hold to be able to experience that time yesterday without feeling, how did I reorganize myself? What did I do? And you know what we do? We just panic and put things off that now we're going to have to double down on tomorrow. Correct? Absolutely. Well, why are we doing that to ourselves? Why are we doing that? It's because we don't have a schedule and we don't realize what we're spending our time on. And I'm not asking you to say, well, that's frivolous. No, frivolity is my favorite thing. Have you not seen my shoes? Where are they? Right there. So an organized routine. Well, yeah. And Matthew, the thing is, I'm not saying you must be organized. I'm not insisting that people have to completely transform themselves. I'm organized sometimes, and I'm disorganized a lot of the time because it's the nature of creativity. What I'm saying is you need to know what you're doing that is impacting your ability and your flexibility and your freedom to be spontaneous and welcome with a glad cry opportunity when it knocks. Opportunity, boom, boom, boom. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, but I'm scheduled right now to do the ironing. No. Scheduled to do the ironing. What? Where did that come from? What I'm saying is this: knowing it's not that knowledge is power, it's that knowledge is potential. Knowledge gives you tools. If you want to use them, tally-ho. That's the point. So the timing is everything scheduler. When I get it done, if you want it, just let me know. We'll figure it. I'll just send it to you. I'll message it to you, PDF. You can use it, print it, spread it around your friends. The more, the merrier. The timing is everything scheduler just lets you know, I had no idea I do that, but I do that. And sometimes you go away and you find yourself doing something, you think, I didn't put that on the scheduler. I do this every day. What was I thinking? You have to go figure out where to put it. And if there's, there's a couple of things that there's no room for, fine, fix it. Again, it's a very general outline, right? When you realize that there is definitely a category called filler, definitely a category, I think it's really important that we spend a certain amount of downtime resting and recharging. And I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with entertainment. If you want to watch some videos, if you want to read a book, if you want to learn something, you want to have an instructional video, if you just want to rest, you just want to meditate, whatever it is, all of these things are really essential to the way we are, the way we live, the way we grow. All of them are important. If we like them, that is all it needs. If we like them, they stay. They're not filler, they're us. Okay, but some stuff is filler. There's no question. And, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has walked away from something and I've said out loud, well, there's about an hour and a half I'll never get back. Because what the hell was that for? And it could be waiting in line for something. And then, you're waiting in line, you're waiting in line, you're waiting in line, you're thinking, you know what? This was an impulse buy. I don't really need it or want it that much. And it's not even on sale. Why am I standing here? Gone. And so if we become aware of the unconscious habits we do, we can see those little moments that are stuffed with cheese doodle, filler. And I'm not putting down cheese, what are they? Cheese doodles, but there's another one. There's a cheesy. Cheesies have something in them that are more like cheese, but a cheese doodle, to me, somebody says, oh, do you like these? No, why not? Well, they taste like a styrofoam cup covered in orange powder. I don't think it's nutritional. I don't know. Don't think there's anything in it really. So I call toxic, silly, pointless stuff, empty drama, cheese doodle. And Bob Ross said, yes, Bob, yes, sure. There's a kind of a pastoral sort of gentle lapping of the waves quality, right? Of the Bob Ross experience. Absolutely. So as I say, when you go through this process and you look at everything and you find the amount of time, and then you say, okay, it looks like I have an hour, a clear, clean hour that I have just been filling with stuff. And listen, a clear, clean hour every day is a routine that we deserve. We've earned. If it's, on a nice day, you go outside and you take your shoes off and just stand in the grass and say, oh, you just go and sit on the beach. Oh, you just go and camping. Meh. Okay. Whatever. Everything that we find that restores us and re-energizes us. Excellent. Do it, do it, do it. If, however, there's something that is just stuff, okay, there's your time. There's a true clean hour, an hour a day. Awesome. If you can find it, then let's do it, whatever it is. Within that hour, in fact, right now, as we're using up the hour to talk about the time scheduler, do you have the money? Whatever it is, do you have the money? Do you have the disposable money that the concept, the prospect, the opportunity requires? And they require it in advance. Because in a sense, you're the producer, you're the creator. Even if all you're doing is putting together a pitch package and having it printed to give to the people you want to partner with financially, you got to print it. You got to get somebody, you got to have equipment to create it, or get somebody to create it. Pay them, pay the printer, pay the parking to go and make the pitch. Do you have the money? And you never, ever, ever, did I say ever? Ever say to yourself, well, I'll get the money back when. No. Pre-production budget, pre-production time is time you understand you never get back if you don't produce and you don't post-produce. Therefore, it must be money and it must be time you are willing to lose, willing to say, I believe in this, I'm investing in this, no matter the outcome. 100%, no regrets. If you have that, you have more than 90% of the people who say, oh, look, I can be rich. So the reason I want to share that is where to start before you start is with you. You cannot be in two places at the same time. You cannot manage two things at the same time. Juggling is not throwing all the balls and catching all the balls. Juggling is tossing one and then another, catching and tossing. At no time am I doing more than one thing. My famous, I hope now, multitasking, the definition, doing many things badly. And the more you multitask, the better you do them. Why? Because your brain can't switch focus gears. We don't have independently swiveling eyes that look at different things. We are like chameleons in many ways, in that we can mind shift. We can shift our perspective, and we can emotionally shift our loyalties and our passions. But unlike the chameleon, we can't do that. We cannot fixate. We cannot focus. We cannot prioritize two separate things equally at the same time. Not doable. Don't care how badly you want it. Doesn't happen. Therefore, I'm unfortunately enough to receive such as I do the routine housework. So that's low quality junk food. Yes. So Matthew, by the way, I am fortunate enough to receive. Yes. When you receive and you know you have it, you can budget. When you know you're qualified, you still have to apply. Applying is the pre-production part. Applying is the vision. If this, then that, right? So in this timing is everything scheduler, Sylvia, the idea is this. If you have an hour and it requires 2, the idea is not for you. A smaller portion of the idea could be for you. Here's what it does that is so important. We get passionate about things and we get excited about things, and we invest our belief in, and the hope and the desire that it's real and it's true and it's going to change things. This opportunity can change everything. No. Things don't change people. People change things. Things are inanimate. This is a wallet. It's a container in which there is not nearly enough of anything by my standards. If I wanted to have more of something in it, it's up to me to put it there. I think that's a fairly simple analogy. It's also up to me to stop taking things out of it, really. So it's me managing this. So in the timing is everything scheduler, where to start before we start is in the vision stage. Can I do it? Can I choose to afford it? And I don't mean dollars. Am I ready to choose to reorganize my priorities and make the new thing a big thing? Until we make that decision, all these amazing, actual, true, great potential, too good to be true, all these things that we see, that's not step one. In a pivotal time, we have to pivot to win it. We have to do more to be more. Okay, I don't disagree. I want to shade that a little bit. I don't believe we can be more. We are 100% us all the time. However, do we want to alter some of the things we do and the expertise that we have? Okay. Just because it's a good idea doesn't mean we're ready. Because first of all, we have to assess that once we're in production, we don't have to stop production because we don't have enough of the resources available to even move ahead, even begin. The number of great productions, the number of brilliantly talented creative people that I have met, that I have known, that I have worked with and continue to work with, whose hopes keep getting dashed because they won't, refuse to do the first phase, the what if. If I have this, then. If I have this, then. What am I left with at the end of the day? I only have 24 hours. Tomorrow I have another 24. What am I giving myself permission to be? And what am I giving myself permission to become? That is the where to start before. In the vision. As soon as you understand the vision, and as soon as you write it down, I must remember this, I must remember this, I must remember this. Okay. By the way, doing the time scheduler, as I said, that's going to be an hour. So you're free 2 hours. Suddenly, you only have one. If you do the time scheduler, if you're watching me today, you have 1 other hour. And thank you, by the way, for investing one of the two in you with me. Thank you. Because it's together. We're together in this. So where to start before we start is with us now in this moment. Once we know where we are, once we know what our moment looks like, we can start adapting it and shaping it and changing it. And part of this time scheduler thing, there is another line at the bottom. And I put it in because I've needed it more times than many people. And it is when there is a cataclysmic event. The cataclysmic event is one that we cannot prevent, that we must attend and give our best during. What is a cataclysmic event? Well, there is something that happens to us. There is a storm and there is damage. We are required to move. And so we must put everything on hold in order to pack, separate, sift, sort, donate, pack. If our new destination has not been provided to us, we must find one. When we arrive, we must unpack. And all of those hours every day, for as long as it takes from the time we are aware that we must do this, we have no choice, it is where we are in this moment, then everything else on our list of our 24 hours is completely changed. Do we still sleep? Yes, probably not for 8 hours. Do we still eat? Yes, probably we don't spend as much time. Do we eat as well? Probably not. Do we take care of ourselves, our house, our things? Yes, not as thoroughly. Do we invest the same amount of time in friends and loved ones and events and hobbies and whatnot? No, that goes out the window. All that time we invest in them, that is put into the cataclysmic event. And it's the cataclysmic event is like a vacuum. It doesn't give any of it back. It happens, and that is all there is to it. And so during the arc of that cataclysmic event, we can remain in control. However, we can only remain in control by being very, very consistent, focused, and calm. And that is very difficult to do. And on many occasions, many days, there will be times when we are not consistent, when we are not focused, we are not calm. And we have to make up for those times as well. And so the time scheduler is not something that we necessarily maintain all the time. So the reason I say, and you're listening to me, you're saying, boy, what a downer, I want to start this new thing and it's only a couple of hours a week. And now you're talking about cataclysmic events. No, I'm telling you, there are cataclysmic events. It's not that we sign up for them. Although choosing to live in Tornado Alley, what we must do is be aware that our 24 hours gets filled every day, no matter what our intentions are. And for us to be able to learn and grow and thrive and survive and find joy and look forward to every new moment, we owe it to ourselves to choose us. Choose you, for God's sake. You're with you 24/7. Choose us. Do the schedule. Realize where you have the free time. In mid-September in 2022, I suddenly realized that my dear Dave was not well. And I'm adding a calm during the storm and giving the tools of preparation. Sylvia, thank you. Thank you. It would be helpful if you could do audiobooks. Your voice is always soothing. Matthew, audiobooks are on my list. I have. You're right inside my head. So here's the thing that happened. All of a sudden, somebody is very ill. All of a sudden, all the normal things, making the food, going places, doing things, shopping, repairing, sleeping, not the same. Completely restructured, completely reset. Because in addition to everything, not well is concerning. And so some of that free time is invested in concern and substitution of things. And then doctors, and then hospitals. And the time commuting to these places, the time invested in sitting and listening to these people, telling you things to reorganize your life, to get rid of all of that food, buy new food, and figure out how to cook it because that food is no longer okay. Okay. In addition to that is the commuting to the hospitals and the being there and the spending time and the looking after. And still, by the way, is the looking after the house and the sleeping and the eating and the showering and so when I actually do live in Tornado Alley, which explains so much, really. so this saga, this journey with Dave, hospitals for months and procedures for months, and phone calls and connections and prescriptions and finding the time to do all the other normal things that normally take up so much time that there is no longer time available for. You don't get to do this and this and this. Okay. So what about all the time I invested in my work? I didn't invest in my work. I put my work on hold. I contacted my clients and I said, I regret to inform you that this is delayed. And they were all very sorry. And they were very sorry for two reasons. One, for me and feeling badly for me. And two, by the way, for them, because they had a lot riding on it. There were things and commitments they'd made based on this. And everything went upside down because it's cataclysmic. And so in addition to all the other things is the upset and the concern and the grief, the executive grief, executive function, executive grief. I can't make cause and effect work effectively right now is awful. September, October, November, December, January, February. We lost him. 2023, we lost him. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 2023. Complete upheaval of everything. Complete rearrangement, resort, distort, pack, move, find a new place, unpack, commute, meetings, legal, financial, family, resort, reset, distribute, keep, discard. Where's the work? In dribs and drabs. Gradually bringing it back in. As the number of disorganizing and distorting things became a shorter list, I could reintroduce the stuff that is my normal, that is my sanity, that is my time scheduler, that is my timing is everything. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. The house sells. The legal is done. The banking is done. August. Now then, where were we? Is that time I will ever get back? Nope. It is time that I can only invest in the knowledge and the learning and the growing and the evolving and the understanding of, and blend it into my business to help me, help you, and others navigate those moments better. Is it all serious stuff? No, I've written a new one-woman show. It's hysterically funny. Everybody has to come. You'll laugh so hard. Why? It's cathartic, it's healing. Positive endorphins, filling the room. I can't wait. I just did Fanaticon. I bought fairy wings, for God's sake. Grown woman. I wore fairy wings. Everybody said, I'm so jealous. Where did you get them? What is, it seemed that you were always busy as TV mom. Lance was, well, didn't it? Except that when you watch what mom was doing, mostly she was blinking. Most mom's vocation and avocation were blinking. What's that, dear? Well, I don't know, Lance. What do you think? In the kitchen. That was just a blink-worthy interlude several times a day. What I'm saying to you is that we cannot stay static. Life constantly changes. If we don't change with it, then we are standing still, then we are actually receding in the rearview mirror, because change is growth. Growth is survival. Growth is alival. How about that? What we can do better fuels us, supports us, empowers us, enables us. I had the most amazing compliment I've ever had, I think, in my entire life at the FanCon. I said out loud, not for people to hear, I just said out loud, I said, what the hell am I doing? I often talk to myself. I don't always have the answers, but it's comforting to hear a human voice. So I'm standing there, and I know there's stuff. It's busy, right? It's people all over the place. So I said, "What the hell am I doing?" And this lovely woman said, "You're bringing the joy." And I paused and I said, "What?" She said, "You're bringing the joy. Every minute, you're bringing the joy." And I thought, yeah, I am. Selfishly, I'm bringing it for me first, and then I'm sharing it. But you're absolutely right. I am. And she said, "Yeah, yeah. Look at everybody. Look at everybody." And I said, "Do you think it's the wings?" And she said, "No, the wings are the cherry on the icing." And I thought that was the most wonderful thing that anybody had ever said. Because bringing the joy, there are so many worse things to do in your life, right? So today, how am I? I've gone long. I want to let you know that I'm in the home stretch on this website, and I've struggled with it because I've put it together and I said, yeah, no, taking it apart. It's like Lego, right? And I ask people, and then they tell me stuff, and I say, no, and I and why? Well, it's because it's for the first time in a long time that I've had the complete freedom with no cataclysmic distractions to focus entirely on the purity and the viability and the value of where I am now and what I'm able to do. And for every single person, and it's wonderful. Your voice is soothing. Thank you. I'm actually adding a calm during that storm and giving the tools of preparation. Sylvia, you see, these are testimonials that they're priceless. And I'm grateful that you're sharing. I appreciate it. And Lance was always relaxing. Well, I say, what the hell am I doing to myself multiple times a day? Because sometimes, am I right? Sometimes it's as though we're doing it without us being part of the doing, right? It's like we're the spectator, which is not possible, but it feels like it a little distorted there. So in any case, to wrap up today, timing is everything. Where to start before you start is choosing you before you choose it. Giving you permission to enjoy the greatest value and the most luxurious, creative, fun, and fabulousness and joy in the doing, in the preparing, in the leaning in, so that you're not disappointed when you realize that you don't have that much time, and that much time was critical. If we can prepare you, and it's an easy fix, it's an easy get. As I say, it's going to be probably next week that I will have the forms available. And if I don't have them on the website, you can just message me, and I can just message you the PDF. And you can use them to say, oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Oh my God, I forgot about that category. And as I say, I will also leave a couple of blanks below for you to add in things that I forgot. I try to keep it as general as possible. And you can't get it wrong. It's a, you know what it is? It's a positioning system. It's not a system. It's a positioning process. It's a time positioning process as opposed to a GPS. It's a TPP, time positioning process, where the time goes and where you want it to go. It's a reset. And once you realize that you own the reset button, You get to choose rather than feel driven by, because feeling driven by sucks all the joy out of everything. You know, when everything kind of gradually sort of went, yeah, the end of July, I said to myself, I am now free. I understand what it means to be free because I was not free because of my commitment. I chose the commitment. I set aside my freedom because it mattered to me. And once I'd completed it, and I said, there, to the best of my ability, we did it. And now I'm free to be this. And you have been with me on this journey through the last 2.5 years, all through all of this. You have been watching these videos. This is video number 278, and I've been doing 2 a week. 2 a week, right? There's 52 weeks in a year. And I've been doing 2 a week. And this is video 278. So all through the trajectory of COVID, all through the trajectory of illness and loss and restart and recovery, you have been with me every step of the way. And I somehow managed to find the hour in the day to commit this to me, to us, for this, because it mattered to me, because you matter to me, because I matter to me. And I have the power to make those choices because I schedule. I'm not organized. I just know where everything is. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it. It means I know where it is, right? It's doable. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I have gone long. Oh, it's 11:11. How about that? How about that? I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful day. I know it's going to be a busy week. I know that there's a lot of remnants on the East Coast of the latest hurricane. And so if you're in the designated area, be careful, be safe, be good to you. We can get through anything. All we need is our strength and our support. It's all we need. Okay? Have a wonderful weekend. Be good to you. You deserve it. Remember to hug your loved ones because, oh my gosh, what they deserve. And I will speak to you next week, as always, here. Thank you so much for watching.